Back with another video. This video is going to be looking at how Turkey beat the Netherlands in their first international break and their first game in the international break. And some changes to the channel. There are now memberships available for people who are interested, and one of the biggest perks that I'm most excited about for this is the direct line of communication you'll have with me and the other members. So we'll have almost like a mastermind group where people can post what games they want analyzed, what concepts they want explained, and bounce new ideas off each other to have a way to really push for innovation in terms of analysis and tactics. So I'm really excited about that, and it helps the channel stay alive and keep running and keep producing new content. But this video is made using Keyframe, so check out the link in the description below. And now let's get right into it. So Turkey, they played very direct in their first phase of build-up, and this usually came against Netherlands high block. So even when they had a numerical advantage, as we see here, with a three-man build-up system using their goalkeeper, their two central defenders being split by the goalkeeper, and we have our fullbacks on either side, a bit asymmetric in their height, but in terms of a numerical situation, they have more than a +1 advantage with the space to exploit the Netherlands' overstretched defense, but still they decide to go long in this situation, and they use a narrow midfield three with narrow wingers, as we see here, to create a good second ball structure to prepare for transition and secure possession higher up the field in response to going long. So as we see here, we have our target player, our center forward, where the ball will land is highlighted as we see here, and then now we have our two attacking midfielders and our narrow wingers creating an arc around where the ball will land and giving them enough distance between the players to control the space in behind, as well as be able to jump and adequately apply pressure to the Netherlands players around the ball as well, and giving them a good numerical sense for the players around the ball to then win it and go forward with a big emphasis on verticality. So from here, again, we see this time a bit more man orientation from Netherlands in their press. We can see the players are lined up across the field, and they're clear triggers for when to press, but still they have more space and players in the first two lines of build-up. The Netherlands commit to their press, but still they decide to go long and use these same principles to keep security when they do play direct and go long. So it's not unorganized, and it's not a failure to go long. It's just a different route to move up the field, but still maintaining control over the game and not getting exposed. So now when they do structure possession, we see using minimum width, using the fullbacks. So they only extend their offensive structure here through half space to wide area. So they're neglecting the full width to maintain compactness and not overstretch, because when they open up, this gives the Netherlands more space to then transition offensively through and become more dangerous. We have an asymmetric midfield shape, which makes it harder for Netherlands to defend because of the different roles each player plays on each side. So the holding midfielder, as we see here, maintaining connections, trying to connect the first line to the third line and the space between the lines in advanced areas. We have our player, who we could call our 8 in this situation, playing as in the middle between the attacking midfielder and the holding midfielder, creating a difference in how Netherlands will shift and how each side will play defensively to then cover these spaces. But Netherlands have good diagonal compactness here, which aims to prevent diagonal passes into advanced areas and progressive passes into areas like the half space. Then we can see when full width was used from the build-up shape of Turkey, the players would then usually add a third player in their offensive midfield positions, either a winger coming inverted in response to the wide fullbacks, and this gave them a diamond 4, so it put more players in the center of the field, which created more connections, more occupation over the central 3 corridors, which primed them better to then transition and play forward more progressively, as well as pin more Netherlands players behind the ball in deeper areas in their defensive phase, which gave them less presence when pressing the first and second line of Turkey. Then, when they did build out of the back, we have a Rondo situation, connecting by the holding midfielder, creating symmetry on both sides, using the 8s or the 10s, whichever you like to call them, as the point of the diamond as the third line pass. And we see the mutual help space passing options here highlighted in terms of the Rondo. Our first and second line passes, they're pretty much both first line passes because of the symmetry created, but they are green, and these passes are primarily used to move the defenders. As we see here, the player commits, and then now the third line pass starts to open up, but is less secure because of the greater distance and increased pressure higher up the field. So these are some concepts Turkey used in their match to beat the Netherlands, and I hope you guys enjoy. Please like, subscribe to the channel, that'd be great, and I'll see you in the next one.